We're going to get into this class. This class is called The Spirit of Man. The Spirit of Man. And this is a continuation from the class that we had earlier, working to be more than angels, but like the Hamashiach. Right? So this is our aim. So let's get started. Make sure you have your King James Version Bible. We're going to go into the 1611 King James Bible, and we're going to also go into the Apocrypha from time to time. I have a lot of material, but I'm going to speed talk. When you hear me talking fast, it's because I know our time is kind of running out. So I'll do something called speed talk or speed read. All right, so let's get started. Colossians chapter 3, verse 17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Hashem, Hamashiach, Yahushai, giving thanks to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. By him, all praise to the Most High, the Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to the 12 tribes of Israel, who the Most High sent the Redeemer, which is Hamashiach Yahushai, to redeem us from our enemies. All praises to the Most High, by Hashem, Hamashiach Yahushai. We're going to jump right into it. The first verse I want to go to is Matthew chapter 16. The spirit of man is important because this is something that we all wrestle and tussle with on a day-to-day stage. Matthew chapter 16, verse 24. Then said Yahushua unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. There's a song, I forget the artist's name, but he says, leave the life you love the life you live. That's the whole premises of the song. Leave the life you love and love the life you live. And that's what Yahushua is saying. Leave the life that you love for his sake. Verse 26. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works. Now we spoke on what the works are in Sirach chapter 42, speaks about what the works are. He's going to give you a description on what the works are. Sirach 42 and verse 15. And it reads, I will now remember the works of the Most High and declare the things that I have seen. In the words of the Most High are his works. In the words of the Most High are his works. So everything that Moses declared to us was the works of the Most High. The law, statutes, and commandments are the works of the Most High. Charity are the works of the Most High. Love your brother as you love yourself are the works of the Most High. Everything that you do, say, is of Hashem Hamashiach Yahushai, of the works of the Most High. So in the words of the Most High are his works. All right, let's go back to Matthew chapter 16, verse 27. For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works. Now we know what the works are. Verse 28, verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death, till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. I hope that's us. I hope that's us. Let's substantiate the witnesses with these works being the words. Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1. Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1. And it reads, these be the words, remember what we just read? His words are his works. These be the words which Moses spoke unto all Israel on this side of Jordan in the wilderness, in the plain over against the Red Sea, between Paran and Tophel and Laban and Hazereth and Tizahab. Drop down to verse 3. And it came to pass in the 14th year, in the 11th month, on the first day of the month, that Moses spoke unto the children of Israel according to all that the Most High had given him in commandment unto them. See that? So his words are the commandments. Let's go over to Deuteronomy chapter 4. Deuteronomy chapter 4. Just formulas for us to constantly write in our minds. So when we deal with people, people say, well, what are his works? We say the words are his works. We substantiate the words. We go into the Old Testament to show people what it is, because people don't know. When you start talking about the Bible, people clam up because they don't know. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Most High my power commanded me, that you should do so in the land whether you go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them. Do what? Do his words. Those are his works. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. Did he say a wise and understanding Pharisees? Did he say a wise and understanding Sadducees? No, he said a wise and understanding people. Okay, so that means that all the people of Israel need to meditate on his word, which are his works, and do them. For what nation is there so great who hath the Most High so near unto them, as the Most High our power is in all things that we call upon him for? In all things we have power over, through his works, through his words. So we have the power of Adam, we have the power of Yahweh Shai, but on a lower level. Okay, we are considered base men in these days. Let's go to Luke chapter 24. Luke 24. Remember, the Israelites fell from glory. So by us falling from glory, we're trying to get back to glory. But first, we have to magnify the name of the Most High and his words. Luke chapter 24, verse 44. Luke 24 and 44. And what am I doing? Substantiating the witnesses when it comes to the words of the Most High. Verse 44. And he said unto them, who's the he? Yahweh Shai of Nazareth. These are the words which I spoke unto you. So the words are the works of the Most High. Not Yahweh Shai, but of the Most High. Yahweh Shai is publishing it. These are the words which I spoke unto you while I was yet with you, and all these must be fulfilled, which were written in the law of Moses. We just came from there. And in the prophets, and in the Psalms concerning me. So we see right now that the whole premises is based on his word. Look at verse 45. Then opened he their understanding that they might understand the scriptures. Understand the works of the Most High. So Yahweh Shai declared the Father's name and his works. We're establishing the premises of, or the foundation of this topic today. Let's go to John chapter 17, the Gospel of John. And we're establishing it by using the verses, the precepts in the Bible, not like the precepts in the churches, the Christian churches. Their precepts don't line up with the Spirit. Their precepts are all over the place. For one, they don't know who Israel is. For two, they don't know who they are themselves. Three, they don't know they're supposed to keep ordinances of the Most High, law, statutes, commandments. Okay? They're all over the place. John chapter 17, verse 25. O righteous Father, the world hath not known thee, but I have known thee, and these have known that thou hast sent me. Yahushua speaking to the Father, and he's saying that the disciples believe in him. Verse 26, and I have declared unto them thy name, and will declare it. Declare what? The words of the Most High, that the love wherewith thou hast loved me may be in them, and I in them. So it's all about declaration of the Most High's words. But there's certain words that he wants us to speak. There's some that he don't want us to speak. And I'm continuing this from the last class. When I spoke about Ezra and Moses, there were certain things they were supposed to declare and some things they were not supposed to declare. We are declaring the things that were supposed to be declared, coming from our covenants. Now, in the beginning of the earth, there was another set of covenants with Adam, all the way to Noah. That came with Enoch. But we received these covenants that we have in front of us from the mouth of Moses and the mouth of Yahushua. These are the covenants for us. Once we graduate from this, then maybe the Most High will give us the rest, especially in the kingdom. We're going to have those. Matthew chapter 7, verse 21. Matthew chapter 7, verse 21. Not everyone that saith unto me, Hamashiach, Hamashiach, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. So he gave us his will in Deuteronomy. Verse 22. Many will say to me in that day, Hamashiach, Hamashiach, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils? And in thy name done many wonderful works? So what works are they talking about? Because the Most High said his words are his works. We already know this because we're living in this world. The works that these other people are doing are wonderful works of the churches, the Christian churches, are wonderful works of these shelter programs, are the wonderful works of homeless centers. These are the wonderful works, things that people can see. These are wonderful works that Yahushua is talking about. These works, they don't include the Most High. They don't have room for him in this thing. They might say his name. They might say, oh, God is good, but they don't do nothing for the Most High. They don't honor him. They don't follow the words. So they have done the works of Satan. Remember with the Most High, opposite of light is dark. When you blaspheme the Father in heaven with false images, like we just went over earlier, we went through all these false images of places of the Bible. So let me show you the blasphemy. First, I'm going to show you the depiction and description of the Israelites. This is in Genesis chapter 2. And let's drop down to verse 7. It says, and the Most High Yahweh formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Dust of the ground is brown, or dark brown. Especially in the Garden of Eden, that was fertile ground. So the dust of the ground was dark brown. Just want to show you this real quick. Let's go over to another witness. Let's go over to the Song of Solomon. So Adam was brown. Eve was brown. This is Song of Solomon, chapter 1, and let's go to verse 5. It says here, I am black, but comely. Comely means handsome. I am black, but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem. As the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon.
So here too, we see that it says that Solomon was black and comely. Then we go into Daniel. So it's showing another place of color. What the first man was, what the king of Israel was, and now let's look at the Most High. Daniel chapter 7. This is Daniel chapter 7. This is Daniel chapter 7 and verse 9. It reads, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. That is the Most High Yahweh. He is the Ancient of Days, whose garment was white as snow. So the Most High had a garment on, white as snow. He had a white garment on. And the hair of his head like the pure wool. So this Bible is telling you in the scriptures that the description of the Most High is that he has a garment on, which means he has a body. It says that he's the Ancient of Days. It says that his hair is of the pure wool. So he has hair on his head. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. And it talks about that. So let's go into another scripture. Let's go to another scripture to back up more about the Most High. Let's go to, this is Daniel chapter 10 and verse 5. This is Daniel, vision of the Most High. Then I lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz. His body also was like the beryl. If you do your research on beryl, it is either a dark green or a brown. So you know he's not green. And his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass. So it's saying not only is his feet the color of polished brass, but also his arms. So his whole body has a color, and it's like polished brass. And the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. So I just gave you 3 very, very serious scriptures out of the Bible showing you the color of the Most High, the color of one of Israel's kings, and the color of the first man on the earth, which is Adam. And Yahushua, I could go into that in Revelation 1 and 13, but I don't need to at this point. That's 3 I just gave you, 3 witnesses. Right? So now, I want to show you this book that's called Life Magazine, Places of the Bible. The holiest places on earth. And this is what's important. See the date on this? Display until 5/17/24. They purposely put this out to display in the grocery stores until 5/17/24 before a new issue comes out. See that? And then not only that, they're making money off of this. It's $17.99 in Canada, $14.99 in the U.S. I bought this for education purposes to show you this. Now, let's go into this magazine. It starts off showing you places, which is okay. We all need to know the places of the Bible, which is historically correct. But this is not historically correct. We just read what Adam looked like in that he was of the color of the ground. There's 2 colors in the Bible. There is different shades of brown, and then there's different shades of red. Okay, Adam is red, and the different shades of red is just showing the color of the blood running through the skin, which is a translucent color. So this is what it's showing, and you can see how pale they are, right? These are Edomites, Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Now, why did they have to put this with the location of where the Garden of Eden was supposedly supposed to be, which we know the Garden of Eden had to be in Africa, right? Maybe even in the Congo. but it tells you the rivers that ran on both sides, so it had to be in the eastern area of Mesopotamia. So let's keep going. So here's Noah, the wonder of Mount Ararat. Notice any people of color in here. No other color of people. They're all so-called white people. They're all Edomites. Why is the racism so great? Why are they pushing it? This is something that they're pushing out there in the forefront. They're pushing this, not us. They are. This is not accurate. This is bias. This is hateful. Look at this. Abraham, a patriarch's journey. Again, Caucasian. Angel's Caucasian. Abraham's Caucasian. Isaac's Caucasian. And this is in the hottest region of the world. They're not even tan. You see that? This is an agenda. This is what's being pushed. This is why people are still lost. And I just showed you in the scriptures what the Most High looked like. And he said, let us make man in our image. This is not in the image of the Most High. Adam was in the image of the Most High. Solomon was in the image of the Most High. Yahweh Shai was in the image of the Most High. The degradation of color came after, during the beginnings of the generations. And the first degradation of color that changed was Esau. All right? And it started to change slowly. And when the Greeks started to conquer, the degradation of color really started to change when they conquered the world. This is Isaac. You notice the same thing. Now look at this one. This is going to show you the perversion of Esau. This is Angel, another pale Caucasian angel. Now the angels in the book of Ezekiel, he said that they're also of a bronze skin, bronze color. Look at this angel. This angel is actually naked. When did the angels become naked? The angels had garments on, every one of them. These are supposed to be Israelites, I guess. But this is during the time of Jacob. These are supposed to be other people. Look at the color of them. They're Caucasian. Now this is at least tint the color a little bit. You have Arabs in this region. You have so-called black people in this region. But how are Caucasians in this particular region? And why is this man looking like he's giving this angel a fellatio? This is perversion. This is purposely done. This is purposely done. I just want you to see this. The imagination of this picture was purposely put in here. Purposely. The newness and the location and the position of Jacob is for a reason.
Cyclops, we have been struck by a plague that will put that biblical pestilence to shame.
Now, maybe they're signifying that he broke the hip. The angel broke his hip, but Jacob's hip was broken, not the angel. There's no reason for Jacob to be there. And we're not supposed to bow to angels. So why is he on his knees? This is Joseph, sold into Egypt. This is interesting. If Joseph was sold into Egypt, then why is the Egyptian pharaoh, the Egyptian king, Caucasian? How did that happen? Ham is one of the darkest colors on the earth. So-called Hamites. The Ethiopian, the Egyptians, the Canaan, they're the darkest people on the earth. They're darker even than the Negroes. How did he become Caucasian? See the agenda? And this is supposed to be Joseph, blonde. Now, I showed you in the scriptures how the Most High is of the burrow. And I showed you how Solomon says, I am black and comely. Let me show you what the Ethiopians look like. If you don't know, This is Haile Selassie. Haile Selassie, this is a true image of Haile Selassie. He is the Ethiopian, right? You see the color of Haile Selassie in his fine garments? He don't look like this man, do it? Because the Egyptians and the Ethiopians were cousins. He don't look like this man. Look, these are Ethiopians. Do they look like these people? Cush? These are Ethiopians. Do they look like Cush? This is Ras Markonnen in 1899. He was an emperor, and that's his child. These are Ethiopians. So they're trying to whitewash this, all right? They're trying to whitewash this. These are Ethiopians. See that? This is not whitewashed. These are Ethiopians. This is not whitewashed. Cush, Habisha. Now this is another book that I have. It's called The Historical Atlas of the Bible. Look at the Egyptians. This is the Egyptian army. Do they look Caucasian to you? I mean, you would think some of them would be sprinkled with Caucasians, but no, look at this. This is the Egyptian army. This is an actual architect. This is an actual structure that they found in Egypt, buried. They're all dark, black men. They're all dark, black men. Egyptians. You see this? And look at the inscribe. It says, Egyptian army on the march. These wooden carvings were taken from an Egyptian tomb of 1800 BC. That's when the tomb was extracted. The campaign of Shishak is closely associated with Rehoboam of Judah, in whose reign Shishak captured 15 Judean fortresses and plundered all the gold of Solomon's temple at Jerusalem as a price for sparing the city. Now, why, again, are they showing the Egyptian pharaoh as a Caucasian when all these men in the Egyptian army are black? And the Philistines were cousins of the Egyptians, so they look just like the Egyptians. Tell me what's wrong with this picture. This is in a book called The Israelites, and this is on page 125. And these are Israelites. These are Levites. All right? These are Levites. Let's read it. It says, a detail of an alabaster frieze found at an Assyrian palace offers particulars of other ancient musical instruments. These 7th century BC players are coaxing sounds from a drum, lyres, one with 8 strings and other with 5, and a pair of small cymbals. Every form of architecture in this book are Israelites. The title of the book is called The Israelites. You see this? Israelites. So what is the issue here? I don't understand why are they still pushing this giant problem. They even got the fringes on. See? They even got fringes on. Those are the Assyrians below. These are the Israelite musicians, which we know the musicians as being Levites. They were the ones who were really talented at playing instruments. See the harp and so forth, cymbals. So I wish somebody would tell me why they are pushing this narrative. Why are they pushing this narrative? So the Israelites were black. Okay, and when we say various shades of brown, from dark brown to light brown, it's all the same. They're all dark, black people. Whether it be Native Americans, Israelites, were Negro Israelites, all black people. Look at this one. This is Moses. Now, I just showed you the Egyptians were black. How did Moses blend in if he looked like this? This is a Caucasian reaching for the commandments from the hands of the Most High, which we already broke down what that looked like. Why is his hands pale? The Most High's hands are pale. Look at the Israelites on the side, so-called Israelites. That's Amalek. See that? This is ridiculous. Now I want to show you one final one because in the scriptures it tells you what Esau looked like, right? Well, there's King David. So how did his son Solomon come out saying, I am black and comely? This is King David, supposedly King David. Why are they using paintings and not actual architecture to prove their point about who the Israelites are? It's a whitewashing. They're trying to keep you in darkness so this lie could continue to be pushed. Now this is Mary. It's supposed to be Mary. Why is she a redhead when Esau was a redhead? Why is the baby naked? It says in the scriptures that he was swaddled in clothes. Why is he butt naked? Why is the priest dressed like a pope and not an actual priest? Why is there a red heifer next to the priest? This is all blasphemy. All blasphemy. So this is why we got to come out of this place called Babylon. The Most High says in Revelation 18, come out of her, my people. Do not take part in her plagues. We have to come out by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. We're going to look at this book. It's called the Early Manuscript Illumination. Look at the figures on this book cover. Now somebody's lying. Somebody's lying. Now I know that Geno Jennings, I was watching a short that came up on my feed that was talking about those who go into the grave. Black and white both will get worms. That's true. But while we're living, the scriptures talks about liars and that everyone would believe a lie and they all would be damned. So what is the lie here? First and foremost, let's find out the depiction of Christ and the disciples and the 12 tribes of Israel and the angels and the Most High. This is the depiction of Christ. He looks black. Look at the angels. That's a depiction of the angels. So it's showing that other people are lying. These are the depiction of the cherubims. They're all brown. And this is a Spanish manuscript written by John Williams. And this was published in 1977. Now, I've brought this book out before, but somebody's lying. And yeah, if they go to the grave, they're also going to reach their judgment and go to the lake of fire for lying. All right. Well, let me show you a few more images in here that just destroys those images in that book or magazine of life. Now, this is supposed to be the Most High. What color is he? Look at the angels. Look at the hair texture, because even in the Bible it described the hair texture of the Most High and his son, Yahushua, who the world calls Jesus Christ. Look at that. In Daniel chapter 10, it says, like in color. His vesture is green, which is like the beryl, and his arms like in color, and his feet like in color, the polished brass. His face shine like lightning, but up underneath that lightning, the lightning represents wisdom when you read the book of Psalms. Look at the angels. Look at the hair texture. Woolly hair. Now, what people on earth has that type of hair? All right, let's just look through these things. Let's look at the bottom. This is the lake of fire. Who's laying in the lake of fire? These are Edomites. Look at the color. See this? Look at the angels. Look at the angel's face and look at the color of these people. Two different shades. See that? These are those who are red, considered red. And these are those who are considered different shades of brown, the angels. And there's Satan, lying in the midst. And even Satan is of color, dark, dark black. I just want to just make a difference here. Here's the dragon. Right? And here's supposed to be the lady that gave birth to a baby, which is Christ. Here's another image. This is on page 73. These are the cherubims. Look at the, see if I can zoom in. Look at the hair. Look at the face. Look at the feet. Bronze. Here's another cherubim. Let's read what it is. It says, the adoration of the Lamb. Who is the Lamb? Yahweh Shai. And I saw and behold in the midst of the throne and of the four living creatures, and in the midst of the elders, a lamb. We know the rest. The lamb, they actually made an image of a lamb. We all know that Christ does not look like a lamb, as in a lamb/goat. All right? But he is the lamb. He is that ultimate sacrifice for the children of Israel. You see that? To come together so the whole world could get together. There's an order here. There's structure. The Most High deals with structure. Look at that angel. Look at the lips. Look at the afro. You got receding hairline. Look at that. Look at the brown complexion. Look at the afro of this one. I just want you brothers and sisters to see this. Okay? They all have woolly hair. Now, most of these paintings happened in the 9th century, even though it was published in 1977. The 9th century. So what does that say? Here's another book. It's called The Icon. The Icon. I've had these books for quite a while now. But every now and then we have to revisit, because we get magazines like what I purchased, which shows they've done no homework. That's the only way you're going to be able to tell a lie, if you know the truth. And that's what they do. They tell a lie. This was published in 1982 in Great Britain by Evans Brothers Limited. This is on page 11. The Icons of Constantinople by Kurt Weitzman. Iconoclasm, Venetian looting in 1204, and the sack by the Turks in 1453, which is the Edomites and Ishmael, are the main reasons why only very few icons have survived in Constantinople proper. It may seem daring, therefore, to write an entire chapter on the icons of the capital, yet the situation is not quite so hopeless as might appear at first glance. Icons existed not only as panel paintings, but also as frescoes and wall mosaics, some of which have emerged from layers of whitewash. See that? Not just one time, layers of whitewash. What is whitewash? Changing the color of an icon from black or brown to white. All right? Emerge from layers of whitewash to give an undiluted impression of the highest achievements of Constantinopolitan art. This happened during the Renaissance time. The capital was so widely recognized as the chief center of mosaic production that her artists, highly trained artisans working in well-organized shops, were invited to work in early Orthodox Christian and Islamic country. I mean, you get the point, right? Let's look at some. So all these paintings that we see have been whitewashed. Here's one. They didn't get to this one like they wanted to, so it was actually darker than this. Above right, see that? Donated by King David the Builder, 1089, 1125, and his son Dmitri. So this is a virgin, and look at what she looked like. They didn't get to this one in time, but look at that. A virgin, brown complexion. This is page 120. These are two archangels. Second half of 13th century. And this was preserved. But look at this. This was also whitewashed. Look how dark the figures are. It was whitewashed. See how the hands are lighter than the face? Whitewashed. Bronze feet. So something is going on here, and there's lies being told about who the true people are of Negro, Native American, Latino descent. And we have to be architects and drown these lies that these people have brought out. Here's another one. Another angel, been whitewashed. This is supposed to be the nativity of Christ, Mashiach. Look at that. Brown, woolly hair. And this has been whitewashed. See that? Whitewash meaning to make them look more Caucasian than people of color. Unknown painter working at orchard. That figures. Look at this one. This is the baptism of Christ. Look at that. Black. John the Baptist probably. And you can see the wool on his hair. Dark complexion. There's the water. Baptism of Christ below right. Look at this one. They just totally took his face off. And see the lines in the hair? That's called whitewashing. Putting those lines in the hair and making them light. That's actually an afro. But look at the destruction of the face. Just like the pyramids and the Sphinx in Egypt. There's another one. Whitewashing. Look around the edges, you see the darkness. How they whitewashed it. See the fingers, they were actually dark. You can see the whitewash. There's much more to being an Israelite than what Wikipedia states that we are. Wikipedia is a false narrative of who we are, calling us black Hebrew Israelites. That's not what we are. We're the 12 tribes of Israel. That's what we are. I want to show one more to you. Here. It says, above right, virgin enthroned with child and prophets. Detail, prophet, David, the prophet or the King David. Look at this. Look at King David. Look at the crown on his head. Look at the complexion. And this has been whitewashed. Just so you know. Just so you know. Alright. This is Prophet Moses. Whitewashed. Just so you know. These are the generations of Ham. This is also whitewashed. Alright. See that? Canaan. See that? All the sons of Ham. This is the Philistines. Look at that. All dark complexion. So why they lying? Look at that nose. Why they lying? This is a Philistine. But that's a Philistine. Alright? And these are the Israelites in Nineveh. The Syrians taking them into captivity. Look at the beards. Look at the hair texture. They got braids. They got the nappy beards. This is on stone. Look at the child. Look at the lips. Look at the nose. They're going into captivity. All right? These are Israelites. Look at, therefore, son of man, prepare for yourself an exile baggage and go into exile by day. And in their sight, Ezekiel 12:3. Right here. This is what I want. Deportees on relief from palace of Ashurbanipal at Nineveh, 7th century BC. Come on now, like I said, tell the truth. Someone tell the truth. Stop lying to the people. And people are so brainwashed, they saw this, they still wouldn't believe. They would be afraid of a dark hen coming from the sky.
How they just stuff these painted images from the Renaissance. Those are false images. When you blaspheme that, and when you also blaspheme the land of Israel, the Most High is not with you. When you blaspheme the Most High's people, then you hate the Most High. If you look at what we've brought, being that it's true, we've brought record after record out proving that the Negroes and the Native American Indians are the people of the Most High, and they mock us. There's a judgment for that. The works they have done are in the sight of men. And the works that they have done are to the wrong people. You know? And even when they do it to the right people, they slander them. Okay? Well, you got to really know what goes on in those shelter programs. I used to go in those shelter programs. Okay? I used to help people. I used to get them into shelter programs. Barzal and Brother Anas used to watch me when we used to be out there. We used to go out to eat. I used to help get people in the shelters. And the shelter is more evil than brothers staying outside on the streets. That's why a lot of people choose not to go into those shelter programs. They have a set of rules, but their rules is wicked. And they got people doing wicked things in those shelters. So a lot of the things that they do in these shelters are not of the Most High. Drugs are floating through a lot of these shelters. Okay? Sexual acts are performed in a lot of these places. In a lot of these Muslim centers, schools, and so forth. I knew a school down in West Oakland on San Pablo. People thought that was a clean environment. Yeah, they kept it clean, but inside the school and inside the housing area was wicked. They had drugs running in out of the Muslim houses. All right? They had a bakery across the street. There was drugs running in and out of the Muslim bakery. Wickedness. That's why I said these shelters and things that you think that are holy, they're not holy. Those are not wonderful works of the Most High. Let's look at verse 23, Matthew chapter 7, verse 23. And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. So the Most High has something special for these people who cause all this wickedness. Let's go to Revelation chapter 21. They don't have the spirit of the Most High. They have a different spirit. They have a spirit that's connected to their soul in doing evil. And it's the spirit of Satan. It's not the spirit of the Most High. Revelation chapter 21, verse 8. That's why I always trip when people be like, are you religious? Oh, no, I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. Okay, well, what type of spiritual are you? Okay, well, what spirit do you possess? Who do you roll with? Are you rolling with Satan, the dark side, or are you rolling with Yahweh Shai, the side of the light? You know? And they give up who they're rolling with just by their actions. Revelation chapter 21, verse 8. Revelation 21, verse 8. But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and the whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. Here we're seeing what the Most High is going to do with all these people who work iniquity. Look, jump over to Revelation chapter 20, verse 10. Revelation 20 and 10. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. So there's a form of torment going on. There is a form of torment going on within this fire and brimstone every day. So that tells you right there that everything that burns will not be consumed. It will go on and on and on. This is what a lot of our people don't know about today. It goes on and on and on. All right? All these brothers and sisters who work iniquity, they have to go through this pain. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 66. Isaiah 66. That's why it's great to those who have repented and changed their lives to be in the truth, to follow after the Most High, and to recognize what their sins are. Isaiah 66, verse 24. Isaiah 66 and verse 24. Let's start at 22. For as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, saith the Most High, so shall your seed and your name remain. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, because that's an ordinance, that's his words to keep the new moons, and from one Sabbath to another, that's another one. Most people don't even keep the Sabbath. That's his words that he gave to Moses. Shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Most High. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me, for their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh. So he's telling you several things in this last verse, in verse 24, about what's going to happen to people of the world that are not in the light. And a good example is, I had spoke about a salamander. I still can't say it. A salamander. It's like a little lizard, right? Though not in torments, a salamander's body can withstand elements of fire. They come out of volcanoes. The Most High is showing us that he does have a body for those that are cast into the lake of fire. And your soul will feel the pain. Although your body will not be consumed in the fire, the suffering will happen without perishing. All right, so what we read here in verse 24, he's telling us that. I'll read it again. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcass. So for some reason or somehow, those of us that make it into paradise, we're going to be able to see this place from afar. He says, and they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me. We're going to be able to see these men in paradise, burning. This is for the worm, that's a body, the worm shall not die. So that's another body that they're going to receive. Their soul and that wicked spirit is going to go into that body. Neither shall their fire be quenched. So this thing is going to go on and on. Just like we read in Revelation 20 and 10. And they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh. So the Most High is showing us this is another example of what's going to happen in that day. Let's go back to Matthew chapter 7